Hello, everybody. I want to talk about anger today, the energetic quality of anger in your aura. We all have anger. Some of us have a little bit of anger, some of us have a lot of anger. It doesn't really matter. The whole thing is that anger is actually an energy that, once in the body, is actually quite toxic. Unfortunately, many people hold anger. They won't let it go. They won't let go of their grudges. And within the anger section comes hate and rage and resentment. They will come together even though they are separate energies. Today's podcast on anger is about how to release it and where it is. The most important thing to understand is that you can hold it for a long time, for decades, and not let it go. And in that area where you hold it, you'll actually start having problems. As a healer, when I see anger, it's always red. And it always feels hot. And when I'm releasing it from people, it'll often feel hot, like a lot of heat coming off. And I think that's interesting because anger is a hot energy. You will often find it in many chakras, but the major ones that I see are in the base chakra, that's the one at the bottom, the top of your legs, the solar plexus, which is stomach. We can have anger in the heart chakra too, and anger in the throat. There's usually a lot of anger in the throat because that's where we say things or we don't get to say things. So anger is the areas I found the most common. So when you're doing your release work and tapping, go to those chakras because they're very, very powerful release places. We also hold anger in the liver and in the gallbladder, and that's the Chinese meridian, and also the organ. So you can also release anger from your liver. So when they say people have got shit on the liver, it's quite literally true. The place is also in the layers, and you can go to the emotional layer and then the astral body, and they will hold anger as well. Anger has a destructive quality in the body in the way that it blocks and makes heat and disturbs the body. It's actually very disturbing, and it's quite poisonous energetically to the body, suggesting to you that you might have had rightful anger, but to let it go for yourself. You're not really letting it go because you're forgiving them, perhaps. Maybe you're not in that place yet. You're letting it go because you need to let it go because it will make you sick. I think a lot of illnesses originate from anger. Colitis type illnesses, migraines, some arthritis. Backache can be anger. And the back of your neck, people hold anger in the back of their neck because they can't express it at work or in front of people, so they put it behind in the back of their neck, and that's why they'll end up getting headaches and migraines. Letting it go is relatively simple energetically. You do your tapping, as you spoke in meditation, your release mechanisms you use, then you can check it with a pendulum or kinesiology. You can go to a healer and ask before you go that your guides help you release the anger that you have, and when the healer works, that anger will be released. He or she might even feel it as a heat coming off the body. If you do Reiki on yourself, you'll actually feel the heat come off. I've felt it. It feels like it can be damp heat or heat. They're the two Chinese energy. There's another one, but today we're talking about those. And the anger is also held in the liver and in the gallbladder meridian. Those two meridians will hold often a lot of anger. So you can actually go to an acupuncturist and ask that they work on those meridians to release it. Some people have a lot of anger, and that's from their childhood, and they never dealt with it. Sometimes it comes from their relationships as well. And this anger just can build on one on top of the other, like a layering effect and building up to a big volcano. They will have a struggle to either express it or have trouble to not express it. And you can be either aggressive or passive-aggressive. But underneath all that is anger. When you're letting it go, you're not letting anything go that's good for you. It's a good thing to let go. It's a good thing to release your anger, resentment, hate, frustration, and rage. Because all of these things are going to also draw you towards being addicted to other things that quell your anger. For example, it will help you if you've let go of it, because then you won't be trying to push it down. Because our society doesn't like anger of any kind, and it is seen very negatively, especially socially. So we learn to swallow it down by eating, we drink it down, we smoke it down, we drug it down, we gamble it down, we shop it down, and then we form those blocks. And I've got some podcasts on those blocks, the eating, smoking, drinking blocks. And those blocks are actually often formed because we haven't dealt with our anger. So as the anger comes up, we think, oh, I don't want to feel this. I don't want to have to express this here. So you sort of find a way orally often to get rid of it. And that's because it's often around the throat. People who've got a lot of anger, it'll be coming out of their mouth. You'll hear it either in an aggressive or passive-aggressive way. And that's a sign to you that they're carrying a lot of anger. It's also a sign to yourself that you're carrying a lot of anger. When I'm getting sarcastic or making smart remarks in my kitchen, I notice that and realise I've still got some residual anger that I need to go away and get rid of. There are certain herbs that help with this which calm you down. A lot of people think chamomile is very good to release anger. You might like to try chamomile tea or use the essence, because we can use things to quell anger. There's no actual tablet the doctor can give you to get rid of anger, but you can also run it out. If you're angry, you can run, jump, exercise, and hitting things is very good. Not people, of course, but one day I was really, really angry, and I went out and put this rug on my washing line and got a big stick. I used a baseball bat because I had baseballers living at my house, and I just hit that rug to get rid of the dust, but also to release. Boxing is good. Any type of fighting, like not fighting people in real life, but in exercise life is good. Punching, boxing, hitting. And you'll find that helps to release it out of your body. That's why exercise is good. When people have enough exercise, they can dissipate their anger that way. Writing is good. Writing in your journal about how much you are angry with someone and how much you hate how it went down, etc., etc. And you can write pages and pages of that. I would suggest that you do lots of swearing if you're a swearer. Write all the swear words you want, and I want to see it, to get it out. And that's another sign. If you're swearing a lot, you're probably quite angry. So once I start swearing more than usual, I know that someone's got to me or something's got to me, and I need to go and do some tapping on that. It's good to have less anger in your body. Your body will be actually lighter, and it won't be as, when I say hot, energetically, it won't be searing heat in your aura, which is really not good for the aura. It upsets the vibration of it. It doesn't flow as well. The other way you can do it is speaking it out. Sometimes we do express it to people. It comes up and we go crazy saying what we think. You have to be very careful of that, because if you're very angry, you can say things that you wished you had not said in that way. So it's better to express yourselves in a more calm, wait until you're calmer. I'd never suggest that you write a letter to someone or phone them up or have a confrontation with them when you're angry. Just settle down a little bit more, let it dissipate, and then deal with it. Because the outcomes can be actually permanent sometimes, and you don't always want that. It's just that you're running on your anger. Our society is an angry society in many ways. You can see it everywhere, and it's a violent society. But we don't have to be like that. And if we want to come from love, we can't be angry and screaming at people, telling them off all the time and criticising them and controlling them. That's counter to being loving and patient and tolerant. However, if you've got a lot of anger in your aura, it will be hard not to be like that sometimes. You need to get rid of it. Let it go. That's what I say. Let it go. It's not serving any purpose to you. You might think it makes you more powerful, but I feel it actually erodes your power, and particularly your energetic power, and it will make you sick. I really believe some of these illnesses, like cancer and heart disease, behind them there is a lot of anger and resentment that has built up over the years, and then it manifests into the physical being. For your well-being as well, to not be that way. And when we are more serene, everything functions better in the aura. Good luck with the anger one. It's something we have, but it's something that we actually might not want to let go of. And you need to be really aware of that. You want to hold on to it. It's like holding on to a grudge. It doesn't serve anyone. It doesn't serve you or the party who's involved or the situation. Have a good week in the sense of watch yourself and see what you're saying, what you're doing, how you're feeling in terms of the anger-based emotions, and then do the work on it. You don't have to have it anymore. And to be quite honest, our society, even though it doesn't like anger, in some ways it encourages us to always be aggressive and stand up for yourself and say what you think. And that's a good thing, but there's two ways of doing it. And one's to come from anger and control and power, and the other one is to come from love and compassion. So you can still say a similar thing, but in a different way. I'm sending you lots of love and light, and I hope it's a calm week.